Do you think by smuggling people in that you are harming your community or harming the country?
No, what's the world without Mexicans?
They hire a lot of people that are undocumented. How is that any different than slavery?
A little section, we call this little cartel land.
On the scales of good and evil, where do you think you are?
I don't think I'm evil at all. I just feel like if I have to do something, I'm gonna do it.
What's something tough you've had to do in this job?
Having to drop off illegals on the side of the road while even being chased or anything it is. They were more scared of getting caught than crashing. ICE is going harder than ever, you feel me? All these mass deportations, a lot of these immigrants in Phoenix, we brought over. We used to stash like illegals in here.
When you just see the stash houses and you see individuals living in these horrible conditions.
How much do you think you made in your biggest month ever?
Over 200,000. I had a guy on my Snapchat pick up off me for 3 years. Next thing you know, he's a cop.
Creative to bring people across.
The game will never stop. There's just more ways to do it around them.
Human smuggling across the southern U.S. border is a multi-billion-dollar business controlled by the most dangerous criminal organizations in the Western Hemisphere. From 2020 to 2024, millions of people crossed into the U.S. illegally, and this was perhaps the key issue that won Donald Trump his second term in office. Today, we're talking to the people that actually run the routes. We go into the field with two smugglers who have gotten thousands of migrants across the border and have operated under both Biden and Trump. These operators break down the economics of the trade, describe what it's like working for Mexican cartels, and we learn how the game has changed since Trump took over. And to get the full picture, we also speak with a Border Patrol agent who has spent 2 decades boots on the ground fighting against illegal immigration. This, folks, is a look inside the business of human smuggling. But first, a quick word from the sponsor of today's episode. Folks, we live in a world where accidents sometimes happen. Every year, there are about 6 million car accidents and 2 million workplace injuries. Just like there's a reason that you wouldn't trust a burglar to guard your house, there's a reason that Morgan & Morgan is America's largest personal injury law firm. With more than 100 offices and 1,000 lawyers around the country, they are a force to be reckoned with in any court across the nation. Folks, not all law firms are the same. Hire the wrong one and you may be defeated before you start. For over 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has a track record of fighting for the people. And the best part is, you don't pay unless they win your case, which means it's risk-free for you. And to date, they've recovered over $30 billion for their clients. And with Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to see if your case has a fighting chance. You can go to their website, forthepeople.com/TommyG, and do their free case evaluation survey. Folks, your settlement could be worth millions. You can click my link in the description or pinned comments to get started. And now, folks, to the video.
This is our place right here. This is where we live. I just had you guys at one of the main pickups. With that, like, I'm gonna show you guys deep down what we do. It ain't just for the money. We have love for all the people that come into our club.
Chapo.
I'm from Metro Phoenix area, and I'm a Toyota.
For legal reasons that occurred while we were editing this video, we had to change this guy's name to Chapo. What made you choose human smuggling over drug trafficking?
Drug trafficking is something different. That's a harder business to get into.
Do your parents know what you do?
Yep.
What do they think about it?
They think I'm a horrible ass dude. My families grew up a little different. They do things the right way and stuff, you know? And I chose the criminal life.
To prove he was legit, Chapo showed me his RICO indictment before we filmed together. After seeing it, it became clear that he and Steven were the perfect guys to teach us about this shadow economy. I would love to show the paperwork on screen, but with the legal names of Chapo and his co-conspirators all over it, I have to keep it confidential.
We've been doing this for 10 years now. We've been in this game, in and out. We only speak about this because we got already indicted, and I think we're allowed to, you know? We all did federal time. I'm on a 22-person indictment. He's on his own indictment. I'm Steven, and I used to do polleros. What got you into the business? Living the way I used to live, I didn't have much. You know, my dad was in and out of prison. He's illegal. Going in and out from the country, getting deported, coming back. It was a struggle. How old were you when your dad got deported? First time I was about like 5 years old. How much would these people pay to make the journey? Off of one, probably 9 to 15 per person. How much do you think you made in your biggest month ever? Over 200,000. And what'd you do with that? Party, drugs, cars, clothes, jewelry. You blew it all? I blew it all. Did it make you happy? It made me super happy. It made me feel like I was on top of the world. And now, life is totally different, you know? Working a legal job, keeping up, and maintaining my family, you know.
Do you wish you ever saved any of that money?
I wish every day I did.
When you're making 50 grand in one night, does that make looking at a gas station job for 15 bucks an hour pretty hard to do?
Yeah, most definitely. What you're making a night is what you're making a year at a gas station job.
What got you caught doing this?
Well, I got snitched on.
Do a lot of people snitch in this game?
Yeah.
A lot of young guys, how they get caught up is they can't help but flex on social media.
Yeah, I did at one point. We'd be on there flexing 500,000, and sometimes I had boys flexing a mil sometimes.
So had you not flexed on social media, would you have gotten caught, do you think?
No, I would have never gotten caught. At one point, we're facing 15 to 20 years. All these little dogs out here trying to do it now. Hey, shout out to you guys. It is burnt.
How has Trump changed the game?
Well, ICE is going harder than ever, you feel me? All these mass deportations, a lot of these immigrants in Phoenix, we brought over.
With the mass deportations, does that mean that you have way more clients because you keep recycling through the same ones over and over?
Yeah, I've seen the dudes go back and forth 6 times already. When I used to pick up myself, I have 16 oils in a pickup truck, and we're over here driving through a drive-thru at McDonald's because I feed all my people. Sometimes they'd come stay the night at my crib, but they didn't have nowhere to go for a few days.
Anything you want to say to Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, if you're listening to this, man, just respect the Mexicans and let them come live here and, you know, help them out.
ICE arrested a criminal illegal immigrant from Uzbekistan. He's wanted in his home country for alleged involvement in a terrorist organization.
A lot of people on the right wing politically are scared that right now coming in illegally are Chinese nationals, Islamic terrorists, are people that want to cause real harm to the country. Do you think there's any realness to their fear?
Yes and no, because you never know who's in your country. It doesn't mean your neighbor can't be a When do you ever see a Mexican guy shooting up a school?
Have your feelings on Trump changed now that he's in office?
No, I mean, he's just doing his job, to be honest. I mean, he ain't a bad president. It was much easier with Biden in office than it is with Trump.
By a lot?
By a lot. Biden's down here, and Trump's up here. We used to see people moving from thousands of heads a week or a month, whatever it is, to now hundreds.
We're driving down the dusty roads in Arizona towards Tucson, where we're going to be meeting with a former Border Patrol agent who served for 22 years and can give us the insights on human smuggling, drug trafficking, the cartel infighting, and a lot of the information that a lot of us want to learn about. Can you tell people your name and what you've done for your profession?
So my name is Art Del Cueto. I was a Border Patrol agent for almost 22 years.
How has the business of human smuggling changed from when Biden was president to Trump's second term?
I think they have to get more creative to bring people across. During the Biden administration, because the policies were more relaxed, you were able to say asylum, and just the word asylum would release you into the country. Now, under the Trump administration, you can still come across and claim asylum. The difference is now if you claim it, you have to prove that you really have an asylum claim, or you have to wait outside the country until you get the proper documentation to show that you do have a real asylum claim.
Folks, we are looking currently at a Trump presidency where he just gave a State of the Union address with his lowest approval rating yet. While his administration has been plagued by corruption and cover-up allegations, one thing is undeniable. For those that voted for a secure border, Trump has surely delivered. And because true illegal immigration numbers are impossible to track, the barometer Border Patrol uses to measure border activity is apprehensions, or in other words, how much contact agents are actually making with illegal migrants. And right now, Americans are seeing the lowest amount of border activity than they have seen in decades, meaning those that are in the business of smuggling are having to get scrappier to keep their operation going.
So back then, if you were just a smuggler, you could bring a group of, say, 500 people across this border. And now you bring them across in an area where they know they have a limited amount of agents, limited amount of resources. So now when the agents show up, they have to detain these 500s, and because the station from the reservation in Arizona so far, you had to make arrangements to now transport these 500 people 2.5 hour drive away. And that time, now you have agents leaving that area. The cartels that are up on the higher ground in the mountains, they're seeing that and they realize there's no more agents here. So they were taking advantage of bringing drugs like heroin, cocaine, and fentanyl into the United States.
What do you think about ICE investing resources to getting a guy that's been a plumber or a contractor for the last 15 years, spending a lot of resources to get a guy like that out when we already have a shortage of those type of people?
I think it goes back to, if I have a perfect driving record, should I be forced to have car insurance? So do we have to wait for the accident to happen to have somebody that's has some type of liability? So I understand what you're saying. Should we waste our time on that? I don't think we're wasting our time.
Has Trump completely stopped the game?
The game will never stop. There's just more ways to do it around now.
What have you learned about the feds since getting indicted?
The feds work in a whole different way than we ever thought they would. I had a guy on my Snapchat pick up off me for 3 years, and next thing you know, he's a cop the entire time.
Wait, a guy that you thought was your runner was a police officer?
Yes.
And he did it for 3 years?
He did it for 3 years. I was in investigation for 3.5 years.
Folks, this is a high-stake profession. A typical sentence for human trafficking is 2 to 5 years, but an aggressive prosecutor can ask for 10 years per person smuggled. As both these guys I'm interviewing have already done hard time for trafficking, they are acutely aware of the risks that come with this job. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on?
Like all these people on the buses, it's police transport. You see a lot of freedom.
Oh, the vice president.
Oh, yeah.
He's speaking today. That's the vice president is right up here somewhere.
Yeah.
So for context, folks, TPUSA is having an event, and JD Vance is the final keynote speaker, and we just saw the presidential entourage. These guys are not getting busted by the feds, so that's good news, right?
I was shocked a little bit.
2 human traffickers just casually hanging behind JD Vance right now.
And you don't know how many are passing by with boils, you know? It's still an ongoing thing.
So how long did you guys serve?
I did a total of 5 years. I was 18 in my first charge, did 6 months. My lawyer got me out on pretrial. I did a year of house arrest waiting for my case. And then I did, they hit me with 20 something months, and I served 18 months out of that. While I was going on with my indictment, I almost lost my mom in a car accident while on house arrest. I also feel like God has things to do with it, you know? I don't think it's just the feds, you know? I think it's just meant to go that way. I feel like it's a second chance. This is a little section. They call it this little cartel land. Mexico. Majority of my foils come through here. This is like one of the main streets right here. All these little trailers. I don't want to say too much where, you know what I mean? Because it's, but a couple houses out of here, you know, it's something different. Is this maybe on this cop?
Right there. There's a cop to the left.
Is it cop?
Right there.
Let's go down. Yeah, go. And see, it's all hot now, right?
That looked like an undercover in there right there, too.
Yeah. A lot of these trailers right now are probably abandoned. Maybe they have people in it. They can say they're for sale, and they're already been sold. We used to stash like illegals in here. You probably have some homeless people living in this shit. In a spot like this, you can leave about like a couple photos in here. If you ever, like, let's say, there's people like in my past. I've had a couple people that have been like, oh, I'm feeling legal here because I need to go get gas, I need to go see something over here. Sometimes you can stash them in a spot like this for like a couple days. We bring a little bit of food, water, make sure that they got gallons of water. And we make sure that like they're fed. We come feed them 4 or 5 times a day. They've been walking for 7 days. Like a week, 2 weeks.
When illegal immigrants make it across the border successfully, they may end up in a safe house that looks like this, but not all border crossings turn out well. In fact, the process of human smuggling can be quite dangerous and even end in death. Just look at the summer of 2022 incident in San Antonio where 53 people died of heat exposure while trapped in a metal trailer, or this 2025 case off the coast of San Diego where 4 migrants drowned to death when their boat flipped over, and the list goes on. Dying in the desert, coyotes leaving them locked in trunks. Even recently, a smuggler showed me a situation where one of his pollos got stuck in barbed wire trying to cross. All this to say, illegal or not, the people that try and come to the United States risk a lot to do so.
We hydrate them, we feed them, we respect them. You know, as long as they respect us, our biggest thing was take care of the pollos while you have them, because you don't know where the next destination is. they can be walking the streets for months at a time looking for a job and then barely get on their feet, you know?
Do you think by smuggling people in that you are harming your community or harming the country?
Nah, what's the world without Mexicans? They pick our vegetables, landscaping, they keep our community good, clean, you know? A lot of them are construction workers. What are we gonna do when the houses stop getting built? America without Mexicans is gonna be a one-sided country.
Do you ever smuggle Chinese people, Afghanis, Somalians, other cultures?
I see a lot of different people, man. I've seen a lot of people come from China. I've seen a lot of people come from Japan. I've seen a lot of Muslims, you know. You don't know if they're terrorists. You don't know any of that. Sometimes I would turn them down and be like, nah, bro, I can't have you in my car.
So it's really people from all over the world that we're seeing cross into our nation's borders, especially out here on the southern border.
When you look at the data, one major trend emerges. The southern border has gone global. For decades, when Americans thought of border crossings, we've pictured migrants coming from places like Mexico, Honduras, and El Salvador. But in the last few years, we have seen an unprecedented number of people arriving from the other side of the planet. In a single year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection recorded nearly 100,000 encounters with Indian nationals, 37,000 apprehensions of Chinese migrants, and thousands of people coming from the African continent. So from a logistics standpoint, this demonstrates how Mexican cartels have built a highly complex worldwide trafficking business.
People don't take the time to analyze what is good and what's not good for the country. Because I'm Hispanic and I have family members that have come to this country legally. There's a legal pathway. Is it difficult? By all means, it's very, very difficult. But you would run into people and they tell you, yeah, I'm waiting on my status. It's just that I don't have the money to completely fill out the paperwork. Well, those same people that would say, I'm waiting on my status, I don't have the money to complete the paperwork, you know, they're driving around with nice cars and they're putting wheels on their car and they're putting, you know, systems in their car. And I'm thinking, maybe you shouldn't be spending your money on that and start saving your money for the status. And they say, well, I haven't been caught yet, or whenever I get caught, or yeah, I know it's a problem, but they don't take the steps to fix it. And those are a lot of the individuals that are being arrested.
It's a different type of game. You gotta have some heart into it, and some of the time you can't have a heart.
What's a moment where you just say, I can't have a heart right now?
A moment is when someone's so thirsty, but they haven't paid. I wanna get you right, but you haven't paid me. How do I know I'm gonna get paid for bringing you across? That's like when I have to say, nah, I can't do it. I'm gonna drop you off and go about your way. I'm sorry, homie, you know? And that's kind of the times where I'm like, I should just buy them water. But like, you haven't paid, so why am I gonna sit there and take care of you if you haven't took care of me? So like, if their families don't pay you, hold them. But you know, you just hold them there. Like they'll live there, they eat there, whatever. If it takes too long, this is a spot like where you can boom, bring somebody, leave them here for a couple, you know what I mean, a couple hours. Let's say you're getting chased or something, boom. Hold up, boom, kick it here, whatever, boom. Dump them and you back in the high-speed chase, live in action. Love it. Shout out to like I said, he was the one that taught me to have a heart in this game. So I was real heartless as like youngin'. You know, they don't want to pay, drop him off on the side of the road, figure your way up to Phoenix. And he would always yell at me, nah, Bob, just take him, just take him, just take him. You know, you gotta, you know, these people are trying to get across.
On the scales of good and evil, where do you think you are?
I don't think I'm evil at all. I just feel like if I have to do something, I'm gonna do it.
What's something tough you've had to do in this job?
Having to drop off illegals on the side of the road while even being chased or anything it is.
When you do a high-speed chase with illegals in the back, how scared were they?
They were more scared of getting caught than crashing. Someone was laying in this bathtub right now. Just be, like we used to tell the boys or whatever, be kicked back about it. They got a little bathroom to come, you know, handle the business in. Definitely some old clothes, you know, like stuff like this. Some borrowed pizza right it's always a little sign, you know, someone's been in here. You know, someone was definitely stashed.
So no doubt about it, this was a stash house.
Yeah, this was definitely used at one point. I mean, I can say I used this house before. Sometimes the stash houses, you gotta, if you know the game, you gotta stash them in there sometimes for a week, sometimes even months, 3 days, 4 days. This is like a quick, like, okay, boom, like, we're like, let's say a day, you know?
So how often would you just switch vehicles in this game?
You know, sometimes we'll just take a risk, be like, just take the same car, use it within the same week about 4 to 5 times. And then they got cameras that on like near the checkpoints, they read license plates.
Front cameras, they match your
Like,
plates.
let's say when they pulled us over together one time, they were like, this car's been through here about 6-7 times this week. Like, what's going on?
So do you guys have to go no license plates now?
No, sometimes you switch license plate off of another car that's the same type of car. We used to buy burners, that's what we call them. Like cars, we'll buy them off the marketplace. 2,000-3,000, okay, boom, use that, and then later on either sell it or let's say somebody got in a high-speed chase. That's what we used to do. We used to leave them there and then just dip out.
So the people that you bring over, what was their common reason for coming here, do you think?
Well, when I first picked up, I was like 14. I got to know a couple illegal immigrants inside the car, talking to them, you know, hearing them pray in the bag, crying. They can't wait to see their kids. And think about it, I'm 14, 15 years old, bringing illegals that are around like 35 years old, 20, in their 20s, and then, you know what I mean, 30s.
Do you think they were surprised when they crossed the border and a 14-year-old is waiting to pick them up?
Yeah, they were surprised. They would always be surprised. They'll even cry to me sometimes. They'd cry sometimes and sit there like, what am I doing? I'm not gonna lie, a couple times I shed a couple tears. You know, I sat down and realized this was probably what my dad went through.
Like, does the gang control this area or does the cartel control this area?
Nah, this is more in the city, like you got gangs, you know what I mean? And you got some people that work for the cartel and everything, you feel me?
Tell me about the Chapitos.
They're good people, and you know, I like them a lot. That's who we move work for. They're well respectful.
So how has the battle between the El Mayo faction and Chapito faction impacted your business?
It slowed down work for a little bit, because you know, the wars in Mexico definitely put an impact on the businesses, because you got one organization worrying about more drugs than human smuggling, and then you got human smuggling. Some people worrying about human smuggling more than the drugs. It just matters where the money's at in the organization.
When you just see the stash houses and you see individuals living in these horrible conditions, that alone is something. They're involved in every single aspect of smuggling, not just drugs, but human smuggling as well. I mean, sometimes if you hear about some kind of killing that has happened, you don't know who's involved, but you know, you pretty much can figure it out. The state of Sinaloa themselves, they've been at war for over a year. There's individuals there in the city of Culiacan, which is the capital of Sinaloa. The people and the civilians that work there, they can't go out to the street from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
As we were editing this video, big news broke in Mexico. Ruthless cartel boss El Mencho was killed in a massive raid that was carried out by the Mexican army and had the help of U.S. intelligence. This came after months of intense pressure from the Trump administration, who threatened to hit Mexico with additional tariffs if they did not get more aggressive with their war on the cartels. Within hours of El Mencho's death, cartel members torched vehicles, blocked highways, and killed over 24 Mexican National Guardsmen. It is still too early to tell how this will impact Mexico long term, but the immediate fear is that El Mencho's death will create a vicious spike in violence. You guys call these bandos?
Well, these are abandoned houses, just regular bundles. We use them as a little stash spot for a few days. It's whatever, you know, get a few people in. Even if we have a super packed car, we'll go up in here, run up in there, make sure it's clear, and have all the boils dip inside, hide them out for a few days, and go from there.
Do you think this has barbed wire around it because it's been used as a stash spot so much?
Yeah, the cops probably blocked it off. It's a known little stash spot for us. You know, the cops would be all over us, man. They'd be bothering us and shit out here.
How many stash spots do you gotta have to make your business smooth?
Multiple. I say more than 10.
So when I look around here, I see buildings like this. There's abandoned houses around here. To me, it says there's a lot of tough economic times in this city.
Yes, there is. And a lot of our communities depend on the human smuggling, because it's either human smuggling or drugs. And, you know, it goes both ways. You gotta make money somehow. If you don't have a 9 to 5, you gotta make money somehow.
If a young guy wanted to get a job right now, are there a lot of places hiring?
It's hard. Like, yeah, there's a lot of places hiring, but it's a tough situation. It's a tough.
Yeah, it's low pay.
Low pay. No one wants to get paid $1,000 for 2 weeks of work when you can go out and make double that in a day.
Oh God.
So what is the state of the union right now in the business of human smuggling?
Look, it's still prevalent. They're still bringing individuals across. I think they're just, what they're doing is they're being more creative of it, because there is more law enforcement out here. But look, when you start looking at the numbers, they've dwindled down to nothing. And I think more importantly, the people that are crossing, they're actually facing consequences.
One of the smugglers we talked to said that in a strange way, business is good because They've seen the same customer 5 or 6 times in the last few years because they get sent back. Well, they get paid to bring them back over again.
Yeah, they're charging the same amount of money. Look, this is the difference between the human smuggling throughout the different times. Many times the human smuggling organizations that work directly with the drug cartels, they would charge people a certain amount of money to bring them into the United States, and they would guarantee you somewhere in the interior. Now, the money that they would charge would pay for the cost of the smuggling. They would pay for the cost of buying them food because you got to feed the product you're crossing. It would also pay for putting them in a stash house until they're able to bring them further in the United States. Under the Biden administration, they were able to charge the same amount of money, but they didn't have to do all that extra expenditure.
The people that are protesting against ICE, against deportations, they don't want these people deported because they want them to be here because they enjoy the modern day slavery, because that's what it is. It's modern day slavery. If you go to areas down in the South, and I'm very familiar because I travel a lot, I've gone down to North Carolina. There's areas in North Carolina in the fields, like the cotton fields, the tobacco fields, where they hire a lot of people that are undocumented and they're living in kind of bunk houses, all of them crammed up together. And then in the weekend, they put them on a truck or a bus, they take them down to Walmart so they can get whatever they need, and then they drive them back to the farm so they can be there the whole time. How is that any different than slavery?
Oh, we did it that way. Because how do we get our fruits inside our stores? We pick them. You know, they supply for us and we supply for them. It's mutual respecting.
Did you meet people that actually try to do it legally but couldn't, so that's why they turned to you?
All the time. I used to see it all the time, man. When I used to see it, it used to break my heart because I'm like, damn, like you were trying to do it legal, but it was just so hard. It's a process, man. Like, it's really a process. It's not just one step, oh, I'm there.
I don't know if you ever heard in prison too, like when we did time, there'll be people waiting there and they won't even sign their deportation papers, and they'll sit there for years hoping that the government will let them stay here.
One of the big criticisms of illegal immigrants is that financially they are a drain on the economy. They take food stamps, they take housing resources from American citizens, they use up medical resources when they go to the hospital, and then we have to pay the bill for them. What do you think about that?
I think everybody deserves a fair chance. You see some people out here that have jobs and they're getting food stamps. So why can't we help other people that need help? Everybody needs a little push sometimes, you know?
There's so much money in this world that
it can be shared between everybody.
Folks, to be fair, the math on whether illegal immigrants are an economic drain or not is fiercely debated. Right-wingers will point to the estimated 150 billion illegals cost annually in social programs, housing, and medical care, and left-wingers will point to the billions illegals contribute, which some estimates say that illegals pay nearly 100 billion annually between federal, state, and local taxes. On top of that, there's the value in all the jobs they complete, jobs that many legal citizens simply would not do. Needless to say, whether they are a positive or negative addition to the country depends on how you look at the numbers and how you view illegal immigration. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Fellas, appreciate getting your story. Good meeting you.
I was meeting you.
Everyone watching, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Hey, y'all listen to that Push Icy shit. That shit was fire.
Big Dog's Gotta Eat merch on the site. See you guys next week. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Just a reminder, we have our anti-government t-shirt collection that dropped on the site. You guys are loving it. I'm loving it at TommyGMcGee.com. Wonderful designs that the people really feel. Also, I'm going to be in New York in a couple weeks. I want to be invited into a Jewish enclave, get the Jewish American experience. I think we can cover common ground. I think we can cover a lot of interesting topics from geopolitics to what free speech is, things that matter today. So if you want to invite me into your community, TommyGMcGee123@gmail.com. We're going to have a good time and cover a lot. And finally, if you like this video, check this one out. I think you'll like that one too. See you guys. Peace.